Hello everyone. So last class we are seen though the POSIX standard. So we are started with the introduction, right? So now POSIX standard we are seen what is POSIX. So the POSIX is nothing but which is going to provide a standard interface for all the versions of the Unix operating system, right? So that is what POSIX standard. So after that we are seeing that, so what are the introduction part, that is we are seen. Next after that we are going to study the three topics under the POSIX standard. The first one is POSIX environment, the second one is POSIX test macro, next one, the last one is limit checking on the compile time and the run time. So these are the three subtopics we are going to study under the POSIX standard. So now let us see the first subtopic under the POSIX standard, that is POSIX environment. So what is that POSIX environment? So how the POSIX operating system is going to be different from the Unix operating system. So we are having the many differences. Now we are going to study only the two main differences between the POSIX and the Unix operating system. So now let us see the POSIX environment. So in that we are having the two important things you have to know between the Unix operating system and the POSIX operating system. So now the first one. So if you are going to consider the Unix operating system, so the C and the C++, how to make it work, that is by including the header files. So how you are going to include the header files in the C and the C++ by using the syntax #include, that is header file name. So this is the syntax we are going to use to include the header files, right? So in which one? In the C and the C++. Now let us see with the example how you are going to include. Suppose for example, if you are going to consider the simple example stdio.h. Now the stdio.h is the header file that is going to be included in your program by using the statement #include the stdio.h. So this is going to be included for your program. So where that function definition, that is stdio.h, how to work, how it is going to work, that is going to be stored it in the path, that is nothing but the directory in the Unix operating system, that is #user include. So the hash is nothing but the first one, we are going to call it as a root node, right? So now root user /include. So this is the directory. So this is the path where this directory stdio.h information will be stored. So this is how the Unix operating system is going to include the header file. Now see though how the POSIX is going to be different from the Unix. Now the POSIX is going to make use of the same statement, but it is not the physical file. See here, the stdio.h should include in this path, right? So the whatever the definition for this stdio.h is included in this path, but in the POSIX you can include the any headers, that is #include stdio.h. So this is the header file, right? Header file name in the Unix operating system. Here the whatever the name you are going to give, so that is not be the physical file. So that is nothing but not the physical file. So the path, whatever the path you are given, that is user #include, that does not be included in the POSIX. Why? Because it is not the physical file. So you can give any file for including the for include in your program. So that is what the first difference between the Unix and the POSIX. Now let us see the second difference. So what is the second differences? That is super user privileges. Super user privileges. Super user. So what is this super user? Unix operating system is going to allows us to make use of the super user privileges. So what do you mean by that? So as the name says that it is a super user. That means that the user can access all the resources. So all the resources in the Unix operating system can access the super user. So other user may not have the permission, but the one who have the all the privileges, that we are going to call it as a super user. So now the super user ID will be initialized to 0. ID will be initialized to 0. In which one? In the Unix operating system. So when the super user is having all the privileges to access the Unix operating system resources, and now this user having all the permission, that is read permission, write permission, execute permission, all the permission is having, right? So now when the super user is going to be log into the Unix operating system, initially the value will be 0, that is initialized to, the super ID will be initialized to 0. In which one? In the Unix operating system. Now when you are going to consider the POSIX operating system, the POSIX does not have the super user privileges. That is, the super user is not going to be supported in the POSIX. Now it is also not going to initialize the ID with the 0. This is not going to be supported in the Unix. So that is what the two major differences between the Unix and the POSIX. So in the POSIX environment, we are seeing the two important thing. First one is when you are going to include the header files. So header files in the C and C++, we are going to make use what? #include stdio.h. That is nothing but what it is? It is a header file name. So that will be supported which one? In the Unix. But here the POSIX is not going to support that header file, and it is going to be called, this whole thing is nothing but the headers. So that is what the differences between the Unix operating system and the POSIX. Now second one, the POSIX is going to support or not going to support the POSIX is not going to support the super user privileges, and it is not going to initialize the ID with the 0. So this is the two major differences between the Unix operating system and the POSIX. So that is about the first subtopics under the POSIX standard. Now let us see the second one, feature test macro. So the POSIX is going to support the feature test macro. That is nothing but it is having the predefined constant, that is manifested constant, that will be supported in the POSIX. Now let us see what is that constant. Now the second subtopics under the POSIX standard, the feature test macro. So that is the POSIX feature test macros. So the POSIX.1 is going to support the 5 different manifested constant. So this will be used for testing the macros. So we are going to study the 5 constant in the POSIX.1. The first one is nothing but the POSIX job control. So POSIX saved IDs, the POSIX ch own restricted. So 2 more is there. Now this all these five we are going to call it as what? It is a manifested constant that will be supported by which one? That will be supported by the POSIX.1. Now this will be included in the UniSTD.h header. So all this constant definition is going to stored in the UniSTD.h header. So now let us see the first micro test that is POSIX job control. So what is that? The job control. So how the POSIX.1 is going to support the jobs, that is, as we know that the POSIX is going to support for the multi-user multitasking, right? So more than one operation is going to be run in the operating system. So how it is going to control the jobs? Different process is going to be controlled. That is, the POSIX.1 is going to support the job control, that is in the form of the BSD style job. So the POSIX is going to follow which style? That is BSD style job control. So what is this BSD? That we are going to call it as a Berkeley Unix operating system. So what do you mean by that? As we know that the Unix having the many versions, right? Many versions of Unix is there. So in that, one of the version in the Unix is the Berkeley Unix operating system. So the POSIX.1 is going to support the BSD, that is Berkeley operating system job control. So how it is going to control the jobs? It is going to make use of the two important concepts, that is, one is background and the foreground. So now the job is going to be controlled background and the foreground. Now suppose for example user is going to work by using the only single processor. So in that cases it is single process. In that cases it is going to make use of the foreground. So in the foreground the process is going to be executed. So now the user likes to work one more job. So in that cases the first one, whatever the foreground process is going to be run, that is going to be suspend and that is going to be sent to the background. Now it is going to switch from the background and the foreground to execute the multiple jobs. So this is how it is going to control. The same style the POSIX.1 is going to be support by making use of the manifested constant, that is POSIX job control. Now second one, so what is that second one? POSIX saved IDs. So in the Unix operating system, so whenever the user is going to enter into that system, so the Unix is going to assign the unique identification number. So what it is? Unique identification number, that we are going to call it as a ID for each and every user. So we know that it is a multi-user, right? So how many user is going to log into the Unix operating system? The Unix operating system is going to assign the unique identification number for all the user. So that we are going to call it as a UID and the GID. So what are the user identification number? So when the user is going to log in, the Unix operating system is going to give the unique number, that we are going to call it as a UID. When he is going to log in, the Unix operating system is going to automatically put him into the one group. That group ID we are going to call it as the group ID. So group identification number. So this will be going to be assigned when the user is going to log into the Unix operating systems, that is IDs. So this is about the IDs, right? So all the user who is going to log in is having the saved UID and the saved GID. So this is not going to be changed by the user. He cannot change the UID and the GID. So now he is having the owner. So he is having all the permission. He is the owner. He is having all the permission, that is read, write and do execute. So he is having all the permission. Suppose for example I am the second person, I like to log into the Unix operating system. I don't have the write and the execute permission, I have only read permission. So in that cases I can change my UID and the set UID and the GID by making use of the what, that is special API set EUID, set EGID. By using these two APIs, I can change the UID and the UID and the GID to which one? To the effective user ID and the group ID. So effective user ID and the group ID I can change. For what purpose? To make access to the files. To access to the files, I can change this set UID, set GID into the effective user ID and the group ID by making use of the API, that is set EUID and set EGID. That is going to be allows in the which one? In the POSIX operating system. So now that is about the POSIX saved IDs. So saved IDs is going to be stored in which one? That is feature test macro in the POSIX. Next, third one, what is the third constant? That is the POSIX ch own, that is the ch own restricted. So this is the constant. So when the, as I said, when the user is going to log in, so he is having the, if he is a owner, he is having the read, write, execute permission, right? So when the POSIX ch restricted value is defined -1, if it is -1, so what do you mean by that? This value is -1. Then user is going to change the ownership, that is the user can access to the all the file. So if it is what? If it the value is -1. So if the value is not a -1, so then what happens? The user cannot change the file permission, right? So in that cases only super user, that is one who has the special privileges, one who has the special privileges, that person can change the which one? The file permission. So for changing the file permission or a file ownership, so you can make use of the, in the Unix it is going to support the one command, that is chmod. That is to change the mode, that is you can modify the permission of the Unix operating system, that is change mode. So now you can change the ownership by making use of the ch own. So these are the two commands we are going to make use to change the ownership. So we can change the ownership, so when it is going to be defined with the -1. So otherwise the only super user can change can access the file. So this is what the three important manifested constant in the POSIX. Now let us see the another two. Now the feature test macros. So in the feature test macros we are seeing the first three constant. One is the job control, how the POSIX is going to support the BSD job style. So second one we are seeing the saved ID, we can change the saved IDs into effective user IDs and the group IDs by making use of set EUID, set EGID. So the third one we are seeing the ownership, that is ch own restricted. So ch own restricted, if the value is -1, the user is going to change the ownership, otherwise the super user has to change the ownership of the file. So this is the three constant we are seeing. Now let us see the next two constant, that is the POSIX no truncate. Next one, POSIX V disable. So truncate, no truncate. So we know that, suppose for example, if you are going to use the API, that is open API. Open API, you have to give the file name and you have to specify the mode, right? So now when you are going to make use of this open API, you have to specify the file name, right? So in this file name you have to give the path, that is you have to give what? The path you have to give, right? So if the file name path is very long, so then what happens? So you have to type that one, right? So in that cases you can make use of the constant, that is the feature test macro POSIX no truncate. So what do you mean by that? So the POSIX no truncate if the value is -1. So if the value is -1, so whatever the path you are given, that is the long path, is going to be automatically truncated. So when the value is -1, so the path is going to be truncated to which one? The file, that is name max bytes. So this is the one more constant we are going to use. So that is going to hold the truncated paths, right? So when you are going to open the any file, instead of giving the long path, the Unix operating system, that is the POSIX operating system, initially internally it is going to truncate that path and it is going to store it in a name max bytes. So that is what the first one. So otherwise if the if the no trunc value is not -1, so then it is going to generate the error. So it is going to generate the error when the value is not a -1. Now the last one, that is the POSIX V disable. So that is nothing but the special character. Suppose for example you are going to make use of the echo, that is Mysore, then Mysore names, Mysore famous see here I use the Mysore famous places. I use the single quote here, right? So it is having the special meaning in the POSIX operating system as well as the Unix operating system. Now I want to display the statement like this only. So in that cases, to change the meaning of the special character, you are going to make use of which one? That is the escape sequence, right? So when you are going to use this escape sequence, then it is going to display the statement as it is. So now the same thing it is going to support in the POSIX operating system by using the test macro, that is POSIX V disable. So that means that when the value is -1, so when the value is -1, so indicate that no disable character. So no disable character for the special characters, right? So for the device file. So that is nothing but, so when the value is -1, that indicate that no disable character is available. So otherwise what you can do, if the value is not -1, you can change the special character, the meaning in the device file. So that is what the POSIX V disable. So these are the 5 text macro which is supported by the POSIX.1. So the last two is POSIX no trunc, next one POSIX V disable. So let us see, to understand all these 5 test macros, let us see with the simple program, then we will move on to the next topic. Now we are seeing though 5 important manifested constant that is supported by the POSIX.1. So with the simple example we are going to illustrate all these 5 constant. So start with the as defined POSIX source. So we know that the POSIX source, which version you are using in the POSIX, whether POSIX.1 or POSIX.1b or POSIX.1c. So which source you are using. Next one, so as I said, all this constant will be stored in the unistd.h header. So since we are using the standard C++, we are going to make use of the iostream.h header. So next start with the main program. Now as defined, if defined POSIX job control. So that is what the first manifested constant, the test macro in the POSIX.1. Now if POSIX job control, then it is going to display the message by using the cout system support the job control. What type of job control? BSD type of job control, that is Berkeley Unix operating system type of job control it is going to support by making use of background and the foreground. Else the system not going to support the job control. Then end if, that is end if, then the return 0. So this is the first constant I illustrated. Now with the same code we are going to write, instead of job control I am going to write the second one, that is saved ID, saved IDs. Now instead of this the system is going to support the saved IDs, saved IDs. Otherwise system does not support. So for the same line, instead of POSIX the job control, I replace with the POSIX saved IDs. So if this is going to be support in the POSIX, then it is going to support the system is going to support the saved ID, else system is does not going to support the saved ID. That is, you cannot change the UID and the GID by using the effective user ID and the effective group ID. So now instead of that, the third constant I am going to write, that is POSIX ch own restricted. So now support system, that is the ownership is, you can display what value it is having. So that is POSIX, you can display the same line, that is ch own with the restricted. Otherwise system is not going to support. See here, the same statement I replace with the POSIX ch own restricted. So now though you can display the value, what value it is that constant is having, just by making use of the simple statement, that is ownership is, then POSIX ch1 restricted. This is value it is going to display. Whatever the value it is stored in the Unix in the POSIX operating system, that value it is going to display. Now next one, no truncate. So instead of ch1 make use of the no trunk. So now you can change that, that is the system support truncated option. So now the system is going to, so if the POSIX no trunc value is going to be defined with the -1, then you can display the message that the system is going to allows you to truncate the file name, that is the long file name, into the name byte constant, right? So otherwise the system is not going to support. So similar to that, instead of no trunc, just make use of we disable. Now system is going to support, instead of truncated, visible. The system allows to change the the meaning of character, else the system does not going to support. So POSIX V disable, that means that if the value is -1, that indicate that so you are going to change the meaning of the special character in the device file, otherwise the system not going to be supported. So this is the simple program you can write for the five test macro in the POSIX. So let us move on to the third subtopics in the POSIX standard.